There once was a man named Gold Roger, who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonkō host for today, DrJaceAttorney. And today, we are here to deep dive the next manga chapter of One Piece. We missed out on last week's chapter 1055. Just as a quick summary, Shanks showed up, conquers Haki, Green Bull runs away, bam, done. That's basically what happened. There were a couple more extra things that happened, you know, Momonosuke getting some clear development as a character, as well as the rest of the samurai of Wano. So it was a sweet moment. It was a sweet moment for the characters because Luffy's watching as everything goes down with Green Bull, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to see Momonosuke and the rest of them handle their own, and it just sounds in character for Luffy. So that's what happened in last week's chapter. Some extra things on the side as well. Not saying that was the only thing, but it was one of the major things, probably the major thing, aside from, you know, Shanks appearing as always. But this week we are deep diving chapter 1056 of One Piece, titled Cross Guild. For our visual listeners or our visual viewers, the video portion of this will be on YouTube. Right now I have on my screen the One Piece chapter page, the first page, which is chapter 1056, Cross Guild, and we have volume 15 of Katakuri and Oven arriving to lay the smackdown on the good old Germa. So can't wait to see how that goes down as we get more and more deep into the chapters. But as always, like we say with every One Piece manga review, please support the official release. I will have a link to the chapter that you can read, which is 1056, in the description box down below for YouTube. And you can click on that and it'll take you straight to Viz Media and you can read the chapter for yourself completely for free. But with all that out of the way, let's deep dive into chapter 1056 of One Piece. So these early portions, you know, just more of the characters kind of talking it out, seeing Raizo shriveled like a tree. This is absolutely hilarious. I just like seeing him like just sapped of all life. He kind of looks like oh goodness, the tree from Pocahontas, the old like wise tree. They honestly remind me of that. They look like trees that are just dried out. So you have Raizo dried out, you have Shinobu here on the side, and just the characters kind of joking around, just, you know, appreciating the fact that they went toe-to-toe with an admiral in the last chapter, and they somehow managed to escape and survive. So that's all well and good. Of course, Raizo on the bottom saying he wishes he had a girl, and it's just funny. It's just silliness of these characters. Then we get some more Carrot action, or not really action, but, you know, more insight into Carrot and some of the other characters like Duke Dogstorm and Cat Viper. I know they have more traditional names in the actual, you know, translation of One Piece, you know, the actual, like, the raw of the chapter. But I think Viz Media went out of their way to call them Duke Dogstorm and Cat Viper. I'm not sure if these are just nicknames or something, but I mean, they refer to themselves as cat and dog, like literally in the bottom of this page right here. So take for that what you will. But basically, they're saying that they're going to stay there in Wano to serve Lord Momonosuke as samurai of the Kozuki clan. So that's all super cool and interesting. Of course, you got Pedro up at the top here, the Dogstorm 3 Musketeers, basically saying that, hey, you know, we're going to be here to protect the country. Do not worry. We have Wanda over here as well, saying that they're going to stay behind. So basically, the whole, like, Mink tribe is there to just, you know, lay the smackdown on anyone else that tries to attack Wano. So Momonosuke is going to have a very, very, very powerful team of protectors against whoever decides to come there again, whether it be the Navy, other pirates, what have you. They're here to protect them. So that is fantastic. I love that. I love that. So to sum it up, as they say at the bottom, we're leaving Zou to Yogara young folk. So there's still people on Zou. But like, you know, the characters that we grew to appreciate more in the, you know, from Zou, from the Mink tribe, they are going to stay here with Momonosuke and help protect them. Speaking of Momonosuke, and the next page, we get, you know, aged up Momonosuke, Giga Chad Momonosuke, being able to see his grandfather again. And again, it's just more of the characters kind of just, you know, recollecting everything, getting each other's perspective on things and realizing, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. You look just like Odin. You know, it's all great to see these characters interacting with each other. So bit of a touching moment between siblings and, you know, grandfather. Unfortunately, of course, the real Odin is not there to see the fruits of his labor, you know, with everything that's going on. But hey, we appreciate it nonetheless. And this is where we start getting a little bit more interesting into the chapter. Not saying everything else before this was not interesting, but you know, the stuff that piques my interest the most is what's coming up right here. Also on what page is this? This is page 7. On page 7 of the manga chapter 1056, we have basically the Straw Hats conversing with each other. Robin is essentially telling them, hey, Pluton is here in Wano. That blows the mind of everyone, especially Frankie, because we all know Frankie's backstory with Pluton, the blueprints, and all that stuff with Tom, the shipbuilder. So this shocks him the most. And then, of course, Luffy, of course, is reminiscing on, hey, aren't those the battle plans you burned up back in Annie's lobby? So Frankie, of course, confirms with that and basically tells him that the weapon Pluton bears the name of a god. And he asks Luffy, do you want it, Luffy? Do you want it? And Luffy says, nah, I'm good. Which is very in character of Luffy. You know, it's, you know, Frankie posed it as something very serious and very earth-shattering. I mean, Pluton is one of the few ancient weapons in the world of One Piece that could basically obliterate everything. So when you present something like that to Luffy, he's likely going to say no. That's not to say Luffy is dumb when it comes to these things. But I feel like if you put like a little bit of a charming spin to it, where you say something like, you know, Luffy, it's a cool battleship with so many cannons and all these other extra features, and it's so amazing. Luffy is gonna be like a schoolboy and lose his mind and say, "Oh my God, I at least want to see it. I at least want to see what it looks like." Whether or not he wants it, you know, that is probably a discussion for a later time. But again, Luffy is very childish in nature. You know, he likes seeing cool things. Like, again, like this is the same guy in Skypiea where we're fighting against like an omnipotent lightning god, and the guy is just flabbergasted at finding a Hercules beetle out in the wilderness. I mean, you don't get a lot of that with these main characters. So Luffy, you know, he knows what Pluton is. But again, it's something like, oh, it's a serious thing. Nah, I'm good. I don't want it. But again, presented in a more, you know, like, oh, wow, I can't believe, oh God, it has all these different cannons and all these weird little gadgets. If you present it like that to Luffy, I feel like he might be at least somewhat interested in like, oh, okay, that sounds kind of cool. I want to see it. So that's the conversation with Pluton. Of course, it is cut short as Shinobu comes in, and now she's all skinnied up and everything. Sanji, of course, being Sanji, is now flabbergasted at Shinobu. Of course he is. And then we have Karibo listening off to the side and basically saying, you know, oh, Pluton is in Wano. So, of course, for those of you that don't remember Karibo was a character, I believe he was introduced in Fishman Island. So he was like one of the first characters, I guess, on the villain side introduced in Fishman Island, along with Hody Jones. And there were other characters too, but I specifically remember Karibo from Fishman Island. And of course, he says, I gotta let a certain someone know about this. I probably need to look that up again of who he might be referring to. The name of the person's escaping me. But again, Karibo, up to his mischievous ways, knows where Pluton, or he doesn't know where Pluton is, he just knows it's in Wano. So that already spells trouble, and God only knows where we're going to go from here with that. So again, we have Momonosuke, a few days later, and he wants to go and have Zoro teach him some sword fighting techniques. As he goes to approach Zoro, Luffy, Zoro, and the rest of them, they are all gone. They are all gone out of there, fitting of their, their mannerisms. Luffy and them, they're never really keen on proper goodbyes. They always are either on the run away from the island that they just saved, or I don't know. They never just hug it out and shake hands and say goodbye and be on their way. They always leave in these unconventional ways. And of course, Momonosuke is like, no, I can't believe I can't see them be sent off. I have to go see these guys. They're my friends. Like they saved my country. So that's all well and dandy. They're on their ship, or at least I think they're on one of their ships. I'm not sure whose ship this is on page 13. But either way, they're at the port, with the kid pirates and law pirates, right? And this is where things get really, really interesting. Every chapter of One Piece is always interesting, but there's always a turning point where it's like, bam, right here, this is where I was sucked into the chapter. So from here, Law, Luffy, and Kid are all trying to figure out which direction they're all gonna go in, because at this point, their alliance is over. The whole point of their alliance was to take down Kaido, and now that that's over, they're going to be going their separate ways. So they have three potential directions to choose from. As Law presents to them, you have northeast, east, and southeast, and they each have to pick one. Law, of course, being the Giga Chad he is, just picks northeast. And Luffy and Kid, being the child ones, they say the middle one because, I'm the main character. I need to be in the middle, so I choose the middle one. Kid and Luffy pick middle. In other words, they choose to go east. And Law even makes fun of them, saying, dude, you guys are just freaking children. You got to be kidding me. You both picked middle? Okay. But Law's reasoning for northeast is because he has to move the farthest ahead compared to the other islands. So that's where Law is currently with that. And Luffy still loses his middle of the road choice. He cannot go east because he drew the short end of the straw with Kid. And again, Luffy's just upset. And Usopp, I love Usopp off in the corner over here. He's basically saying, Luffy, every direction is dangerous. Okay, like it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna need a lot of help going to wherever we're gonna be end up arriving on. So and then I like this panel down here. Luffy basically kind of throws his emperor status at Kid, and he's like, wait a minute, who cares? Kid, I am an emperor of the sea. I get to choose. I get to choose where I get to go. But again, it's funny because, that gets under Kid's skin, because in his eyes, he's basically saying, dude, like, how is Luffy an emperor? I took out an emperor too. But to be fair, he kind of had a lot of help with, Law and a couple other characters against Big Mom. Luffy 1v1 Kaido. So that's just funny. I like how Luffy basically flexed his emperor status here at the bottom. But then, with Kid, he is, countering that by saying, you know what, since we're on the talk of emperor status, you want to know who pisses me off right now as to who really made emperor? And this is where this background is coming from, guys. This is where it's coming from. The genius jester, Buggy D Clown. And this poster with Cross Guild. There's a lot to take in with this panel alone. So, and let's address the elephant in the room. Buggy's obviously an emperor. We knew that for quite a number of chapters, but it's very interesting that under his command is Crocodile, and Dracule MIHAWK. These are two Giga Chad characters that the world of One Piece knows that they could obliterate Buggy if they wanted to. And also, these are characters that they do not take authority from anyone, especially Crocodile. Crocodile's not going to be taking orders from anyone, but apparently, and you know, obviously MIHAWK as well, but you know, seeing as how Crocodile was more of a villain in One Piece and he was like the leader of an organization, there's no way he's taking orders from a clown at this point. So this was super hilarious just to see, but again, it raises a lot of questions. Why are Giga Chads like MIHAWK and Crocodile under Buggy's command? Is this more like a decoy type of thing? Is this like a distraction? Are they using Buggy as like a figure piece to just move their agenda, whatever it is? Like, this does not happen without some ulterior motive in hand. MIHAWK is there for a reason, and Crocodile is there for a reason. At any point, they could easily just, you know, make Buggy shut up or kill him, whatever, and be done with it. But that's what it looks like, what's going on here. And of course, Crocodile brings some powerhouse into this, you know, alliance with Buggy. He has, of course, you know, Mr. One and actually, yeah, Mr. One. I don't think he has any I don't think he has any other former Baroque members with him. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, Mr. One I know is with Crocodile. And with MIHAWK, he has I believe her name is Perona, the ghost girl, likely with Buggy Alliance. And again, this guild that they formed, the Cross Guild, is very interesting. So on the next page, let's see, that's not possible now. And again with the MIHAWK thing, Zoro is not even on the same line as the others as well. He's basically saying, how is MIHAWK like taking orders from Buggy? Like, something's not right there. Something's not right. So again, it explains why Buggy is an emperor. He has two powerhouses under his name, and the man has trolled his way to the top. So that's all great. And of course, Luffy off to the corner saying, you know, Buggy's an idiot, right? Like, it's funny that the idiot is calling the other idiot an idiot. It's just hilarious. It's pure. It's art. It's art. It's like poetry. It rhymes. So Luffy realizing the absurdity of this, and Kid pointing out something very interesting. So they formed a company, like we said earlier, called Cross Guild. And Cross Guild is putting bounties on the Navy. That is something very interesting. So no other entity in One Piece, from what I can recall, has ever really put out something similar to what the Navy does to pirates. And that is what, you know, Kid basically said. They're putting bounties on Navy characters. They haven't dropped any names on any significant Navy members, although I would imagine it's likely, you know, the big houses. I would imagine Aokiji has one. Oh, I'm sorry, not Aokiji. Kizaru has one. Akainu has one. I'm sure the big names have bounties. And then Kid, of course, says the Navy's been used to doing all the chasing, but these days they have to fear assassination from civilians. So again, and also the posters that Kid shows in the background of his, you know, little thought bubble, they don't look like any characters that I can recognize. I think these say names, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I don't think they're really characters. I think they're just NPCs as an example to basically just say, yeah, these are the characters, or these are examples of potential characters that they might be hunting with Cross Guild. So there's no complaints from Kid, and he's basically saying, you know, once we set foot out of Wano, we're in a fight to the death like all the others. So that's all well and dandy. Of course, and this is kind of a bro moment. You know, they say that they're all going to be enemies once they leave this. They leave Wano. I think that's just the ego talking. I think, you know, the baka, the sussy baka. I really think that these guys are somewhat low-key friends a little bit, because Law didn't have to do this. Law basically gave them, you know, a copy of the road poneglyph. And he basically gave it to them as like kind of like an honor code, saying, you know, you guys have just as much of a right to it as we do. You helped in that fight against Kaido and Big Mom. You deserve some of the spoils from that battle. So everyone is on the same page. Everyone that was in this fight against Kaido and Big Mom, they are on the same playing field and trying to get to the One Piece. So that's all great. You also have Killer basically saying, we're going to have to go put all of our strength into this task if we want to take part in the all-out war over the One Piece. And Kid mentions something very interesting. Of course, he says, you mean finding the man with the burn scar? That's not enough to go on. Obviously, the man with the burn scar is clearly Sabo, you know, the burn scar over his eye. And Luffy says, burn scar, what do you mean? And Law decides to stay quiet off in the corner because he's aware that Luffy is not totally, the man doesn't know what's going on with Sabo and the rest of the world. So they're likely going to have to encounter Sabo at some point. And Kid, of course, trolling him. He's trolling him. He's trolling him. He's trolling Luffy, saying, well, looks like we got the advantage, man. You know, screw you. We're heading out. And Luffy, of course, is frustrated with that. And then the last panel, it closes us off with Yamato basically saying, hey, I'm going to go with the Straw Hats, and I'm going to live the way Kazuki Oden did. A lot of people are wondering if Kazuki Oden, I'm sorry, not Kazuki Oden. A lot of people are wondering if Yamato is going to be considered a new Straw Hat, along with, you know, the other Straw Hat that joined in this battle, which was Jinbei. I don't think Yamato is going to be a Straw Hat in the sense that he's going to be a permanent member of the crew. I think Yamato is likely going to be like an honorary Straw Hat, similar to what Vivi is. You know, Vivi joined the Straw Hats. She was with them for a number of adventures, but ultimately she decided to stay in Alabasta once their adventures were over because duty called and it was time for her to leave. But they still, the Straw Hats still honored her as an honorary Straw Hat member. She sailed with them. She fought with them. She cried and battled with them. So Vivi, I think, is kind of in the same limelight as Yamato. I feel like Yamato is likely an honorary Straw Hat. Yamato's going to join Luffy and the rest of them throughout their adventures, probably to the end of the saga. But once that whole deal is done, Yamato's going to come back to Wano, similar to what Oden did once his adventures were done with sailing with, I believe it was Gold Roger. And then that's it. Yamato's going to leave the Straw Hat. So I don't think Yamato is going to be an official Straw Hat because, again, it's going to be very weird if Oda introduced it. Look, because let's be honest, even though he's been teased for multiple arcs, I believe it was Wano that really officially made Jinbei the next Straw Hat member. You know, he was always viewed as a Straw Hat, even though, you know, he was always off on his own, doing his own thing. But now it's more official. Now Jinbei's like, I am here, Luffy. I promise the next time we meet, I will meet you as a crew member of the Straw Hat Pirates. And that's what happened in Wano. So if Yamato is now the second character in the same arc to do that, I don't know. Yamato's gonna be on the crew, you know, oh my God, Yamato is going to be on the crew as an honorary Straw Hat, but that's pretty much where it's gonna be ending at. Yamato's gonna join them in the battles, in the fight against all these other characters. Probably in the final fight as well. And Yamato's a great character. We all love Yamato. But hey, we'll see what happens as we keep trudging along in this journey that is One Piece. Let me actually go back a couple pages real quick because I want to see something. Okay, yeah, just as an example right here, this panel on the bottom of page 7, it's meant to show like all the Straw Hats together. You know, this is the room that's filled with Straw Hats. You got Luffy, You got I think that's Sanji. Zoro in the back. Robin, Frankie, Chopper, Nami. That could be either Brook or Usopp, depending on the afro. Or maybe that's Usopp down here on the bottom right corner. Actually, yeah. So this afro character is Brook. And Jinbei. Jinbei's off in the corner. And I just wanted to show that, to just show Jinbei is part of the crew now. He is an official Straw Hat. Like, he is part of their crew meetups, their crew gatherings. So Jinbei is a shipmate of the future King of the Pirates. And of course, Yamato is going to be going and tagging along their adventures as well. But that's pretty much the entire chapter, guys. Let me know what you all think, how the chapter went. Were you hyped at all with Buggy D Cloud somehow bagging in Crocodile and Mihawk under his command? And now they're putting bounties on Navy members. I'm wondering what the bounty numbers even look like, if they're in any way similar to the Navy's numbers. So like, is Akainu like 3 billion berries or something? And the thing is, if they're putting bounties on people, they have to have the funds to compensate people for that. So, or maybe they're not even like hunting the higher end Navy officials. Maybe they're going like for the captains and vice captains, stuff like that. Maybe even some vice admirals. Who knows? But that's basically the chapter, folks. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Was this chapter pretty exciting? What island is Luffy and his crew gonna go into? Since they're gonna be going to the southeast portion, I believe it's the southeast portion that they're going to, because yeah, he lost the bet, so he'll be going southeast. Also, there's one last thing. There's a discussion on where the rest of the crew are going in terms of what islands they'll be ending up on. One running theory is each direction is into the territory of one of the remaining emperors. So the 3 remaining emperors are, of course, Buggy, Blackbeard, and Shanks. Here's the thing. Not a lot of people. Some people think that Luffy and the gang will be heading towards Shanks. I don't think that's gonna happen, just because we had an opportunity for Shanks to meet up with Luffy in Wano literally like 2 chapters ago, even 1 chapter ago, and Shanks literally said, "No, not yet. Later. We'll see him later." That to me is, solidifying the fact that, okay, they're not going to see each other just yet. Shanks and Blackbeard, in my opinion, are endgame. They are the type of characters that you do not have the Straw Hats clashing with them until the final portion of One Piece. I know we're in the final saga, but this is the beginning of the final saga. In terms of a narrative, viewpoint, I see it making much more sense, assuming they're all going in the direction of an emperor for their territory. I see it making way more sense that Luffy heads in the direction of Buggy's territory, especially with this whole panel dedicated to Buggy and Crocodile and Mihawk. There's likely a lot of questions raised. Zoro wants to know why Mihawk's under him, and Luffy just wants to know how the hell did Buggy bag these two? Like, how does he have them under his command? So I can definitely see Luffy heading in the direction of Buggy. So, and again, that's assuming that we all go in the direction of each of the Luffy, Kid, and Law going towards an emperor's territory. They might not go into an emperor's territory at all. We might have a new island in the direction that each character is going in, rather than like a territory of one of the emperors. So I don't know, we'll see. But assuming we're going in emperor territory directions, I think Buggy is going to be meeting up Luffy very, 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 very soon. But let us know what you guys think of this chapter. Again, great chapter of One Piece. I don't know if it's on break. I don't think it's on break. Yeah, it's not on break next week. So we'll get another chapter next week. Let me know what you all think of the chapter. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at the Yonkō Table. And for the video portion, check out at DrJaceAttorney on YouTube. But with that, everyone, I'm your Yonkō host, DrJaceAttorney, signing off, and have a good day.